Today is going to be a great day. I am Nikki G, your host, and welcome to the Lone Doctrine. I am your weekly dose of constructive food for thought. Sometimes I step away from my own thoughts and share a look into someone else's thinking patterns. Remember, here at the Lone Doctrine, we celebrate uniqueness and individuality. We hope that you can take all these ideas and make them into your own in order to make today better than yesterday. We've been talking about the past, and one thing that comes side by side with the past is regret. Here's some thoughts to think about. We've all heard the phrase, no regrets, usually uttered when we're about to do something a little unwise, perhaps. And yet, as alluring as the living without regrets philosophy sounds, it's not always so easy. We regret missed opportunities. We regret things that make us feel dumb. We regret not telling someone we loved them before they passed away. We regret not spending our time more wisely, accomplishing more. We regret procrastinating, not forming better habits, eating too many sweets, not writing a novel we always wanted to write, not reading all the books we planned to read, not mastering Russian or chess or the ninja arts. We regret getting into bad relationships or making mistakes in a past relationship. Yes, we regret things, and sometimes it can be consuming. So, why do we have regret? Simply put, we regret choices we make because we worry that we should have made other choices. We think we should have done something better but didn't. We should have chosen a better mate but didn't. We should have taken more exciting but risky jobs but didn't. We should have been more disciplined but weren't. We regret these choices, which are in the past and can't be changed, because we compare them to an ideal path that we think we should have taken. We have an idea in our heads of what could have been, if only a different choice had been made. The problem is we cannot change those choices. So we keep comparing the unchangeable choice we actually made to this ideal, this fantasy. It can't be changed, and we will never be good as the ideal. The unchangeable choice we made will always be worse. It spins around and around and around in our heads. Why can't we let it go? What's so important that we need to keep thinking about it? Why do we keep thinking about regret? I've noticed that I have a hard time not thinking about a bad choice because of how it conflicts with my self-identity. We all have this idea of who we are. We're good people. Perhaps we're smart or competent or good-hearted. We make the best choices we can, of course, because we're good people. Even if you have self-doubt and a bad self-image, you probably think you're basically a good person. And so when someone else attacks that identity, insults your competence, calls you a liar, says that you're a cheater, it hurts. We get angry and defensive. We can't stop thinking about this offense. And when we believe we made a mistake, this is also an attack on our identity. We made a bad choice. Why can't we have been a better person or made a better choice? This bad choice conflicts with our idea that we're a good person. So the problem spins around and around without resolution. There's no way to solve this problem because the bad choice can't be changed, and we can't resolve the conflict with our self-identity. So here are some ideas on how to let go of regret. In examining why we have regret and why it's so hard to let go, we can see a couple of root causes that we can address. One, we compare the past choices to an ideal. Two, we have an ideal identity that conflicts with the idea of the bad choice. These both revolve around ideals. which are not reality but are fantasies of how we'd like reality to go. They're made up and not helpful. In this case, these ideals are causing anguish. So the practice is to let go of the ideals and embrace reality. Here's the reality of those two root causes. Number one, the choice we made in the past is done and we can't change it. And in fact, there's some good in the choice if we choose to see it. Being able to make a choice at all is an amazing thing, as is being alive and learning from our experiences and being in the presence of other really great people. And we can be satisfied with our choices and see them as good enough instead of always hoping for the perfect choice. Some choices will be great, some won't be perfect, and we can embrace the entire ranges of choices we make. Number two, we are not actually always good. Let me repeat that. We are not actually always good. And in fact, our identity can encompass a whole range. We are sometimes good, sometimes not, and sometimes somewhere in between. We make mistakes. We do good things. We care. We are selfish. We are honest. We sometimes aren't honest. We are all of it. And so making a bad choice isn't in conflict with that more flexible and realistic self-identity. It's part of us. We are human. Now, I understand that that's all easier said than done. But when we find ourselves obsessing over past choices, we can, one, recognize that we're falling into this pattern. Number two, realize that there's some ideal we're comparing our choices and ourselves to. And three, let go of these perfect ideals and embrace a wider range of reality. This is a constant practice, but it helps us not looking for perfection, not constantly reviewing our past choices, but instead find satisfaction in what we've done and focus on what we're doing now. Regrets are a part of life, whether we want them or not, whether we're aware we're having them or not. But by looking into the cause of regrets and embracing the wide range of reality, we can learn to be satisfied with our choices, happier with the past, and happier in the present moment. And that is a choice you won't regret. I hope you enjoyed a look into someone else's thinking patterns. Remember, even if you take one thing from reading a book or a podcast or an inspirational video or even a quote, it's worth it. Here at the Lone Doctrine, we cannot express our gratitude enough to all our listeners. We truly hope you are being inspired by what we have to give. As we grow in our passionate pursuit of betterment, we could really use your support to stay up and running. If you visit lonedoctrine.com, there's a support button that partners up with Patreon. Patreon is a place where you can support your favorite creators, hopefully one being the Lone Doctrine, in order for them to keep creating. Our mission is to provide constructive food for thought to make today better than yesterday for you. Thank you for supporting us, and an extra special thank you for our current Patreons. You make a world of difference, not just for us, but for all our listeners. And remember, today and every day, keep fighting the good fight.
It's